Follow the rules, or Coronet will hit you over the head with his tennis racket. Did I put in a duck hunting video by accident?
Rules in action. Rules that keep things going smoothly and fairly.
Oh, rules, they make the best darn pancakes in the whole town, don't you know?
Help us work together and play together and live together. Of course, in small groups, we sometimes get along without rules.
Rules allow for one individual to easily dominate the weaker class.
Rules help us play fair with each other, so all can enjoy the game. Rules that apply equally to all.
Except for the commies.
It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them. And we can each take part in making the rules more fair and more useful. Inside our school, we also have rules for fair play and for getting along together.
But not rules for gender equality.
Here, many of us use the same books and reference materials. So we have set up rules to help make the library a good place to study and read, and to help all of us use the books more fairly. Of course, at times, some of us have trouble with the rules.
You have a book out, overdue, and it's already been renewed once. I can't let you take out another until you bring that book back.
Oh, sure you can. Look, I need that book, and this one too.
Eh, falls, fails, just pirate it on the internet.
Take it out and I'll bring it back next week.
No, I can't. It's the rule.
Yes, it's the rule. But John needed the book. And he wanted better.
Unless, of course, you know my good friend President Lincoln.
She could not make an exception. But she suggested that John take his problem to the principal.
All right, I will.
You forget! The principal owes me his life for saving his butt in Korea.
To ask me to make an exception in his case. What should we tell people who want
It depends. Do you know my friend President Lincoln?
Show them that exceptions are unfair, that they spoil the game. That's it. They spoil the game.
Joe DiMaggio did it all the time.
Would it be fair to ask for an exception for another strike? When you're in a hurry to get somewhere, you still wait at red lights. You know that exceptions would not be fair.
Exceptions are the #1 cause of traffic fatalities. Everyone knows that.
Having an exceptioner in the library to decide that one person doesn't have to bring books back, but another one does. Would this be fair?
Only in Glenn Beck's mind.
Would it be fair to make exceptions and excuse some people from paying fines while making other people pay? Well, John finally agreed that rules must apply to everyone, that exceptions are unfair.
And free thinking is for losers.
It's pretty important after all. The rules are so important that we go to a lot of trouble to remind everyone of the rules. We post bulletins that remind us of the rules about fire drills, where to go and what to do, about school activities,
about the latest DC Universe Online DLC,
about safety on the streets near our school.
It's supposed to be Adam and Eve, not Adam and Svetlana.
We have hall guards to remind us of our traffic rules in the halls.
And to imprison those who dare speak out against the halls.
Yes, most of the time we remember and respect the rules. But sometimes, some of us have problems because of not knowing the rules, or forgetting them.
They get the death penalty.
Come in, Alvin.
Mr. Blackwell sent me from gym class. I didn't know we were supposed to bring gym shoes to class today.
Wait. You didn't know you were supposed to bring gym shoes to gym class?
Well, I must have been absent that day.
Absent or...
This school doesn't pay you to be absent, Alvin.
Alvin, whose job is it to see that you know the rules? Sit down. What could I say? How could I show Alvin his responsibility? How do you convince people that they must learn the rules?
Maybe I could threaten him with
Suppose
eternal
you're watching a game
damnation.
of baseball. Say you've never played it, but you'd like to try.
Your first step is to find A-Rod and make sure you can get in touch with his biogenesis representative.
You'd watch for a while, wouldn't you? If someone caught a fly and traded places with the batter, well, then you'd have some idea of one of the rules.
Only losers fly out.
And you could look to see where the bases were. They might be just like regular baseball, or perhaps not. Then if you were given a chance to play, you'd ask some questions. Questions about the rules.
Questions about the Philadelphia
And
experiment.
then you'd play. And you'd have fun by playing by the rules.
Then you ignore them. That way the bullies don't target you.
Whenever you come into a new situation, you watch for rules. So, as you enter shop class for the first time, you look around. You see workbenches, quite a few of them. You'll probably be assigned to one, and it'll be up to you to keep it neat and take care of the tools.
And finger free.
One bandsaw and a rule. Whenever many people use the same thing, rules are necessary. Well, how do you get permission? You ask and find
Could
out.
I use the bandsaw on
That's
a
another
pork
way to
shoulder?
learn the rules. Look around you. Read. Watch. Ask questions. You can learn the rules if you try.
Hell is full of people who
Alvin seemed
didn't
to
try.
understand that it was his responsibility to learn the rules, and he promised to bring his gym shoes the next day. You know,
Still, I had to kill Alvin.
when we don't know the rules,
It's the rules
or
after
if we
all.
forget them, it's just as unfair to others as if we broke the rules on purpose. Now,
Ernie
he
got
wanted
caught
the home
fooling
guard.
around with his
He
friend
waited to
Bert.
see me because he had another question about rules.
Well, we're having trouble on the west stairway. You see, that's supposed to be up only. But at certain times of the day, there's hardly anyone around the halls, and it's handy for some to come down the west stairs. I feel silly telling them not to. But I'm supposed
But the
to...
Downies keep hanging out there.
Well, Mr. Taylor, the hall guards just don't know what to do.
Well, perhaps that stairway isn't as
What do you
suggested
think?
as
Should I
our
turn the
traffic
police dogs
rules
on
set
them?
up. Maybe they need changing.
Would you change the rule, Mr. Taylor? That might help.
Well, that's not my rule to change, Ernie. Don't you remember the student committee planned the hall traffic program?
You
But you might
are
like to
God,
change the problem.
right, Mr. Taylor?
Talk it over with the
Well, of
other
course
hall
I am,
guards,
Billy.
Then make suggestions to the student committee.
That's a good idea. We'll do that. Thank you.
Not at all. That's another important
If that
thing to
doesn't work,
remember about rules.
then show them no
Everyone
mercy.
is in need. And we can each take part in changing them if changes are needed. How are rules made? Our school board here in town makes some rules. After
And
all,
I
they're
make the
supposed to be
rest.
responsible for making this a good school. Our state government makes some overall rules for schools.
Through bribery and fear-mongering.
Their chance to learn. And we, through our own student representatives, make some of the rules too. They help us find ways of making our life in school smoother and more pleasant.
And by fair, of course I mean biased towards me.
Our rules apply equally to all, with no exceptions. That is part of making them fair.
Through bribery and fear-mongering.
Each one of us has the responsibility of learning the rules and remembering to follow them. And we
Especially
can
the
work
wasps.
together to make better rules when we need them. And to use our rules to help make living at school more happy and worthwhile for all.
Remember, follow the rules. and Half-Life 3 will be confirmed.